Babe, wake up. New Norwegian body horror Cinderella just dropped, and they say the word virgin a lot.
I'm going crazy. I've lost my mind.
But sweetie, we have the substance at home. Yes, it's a different take, but it is obsessed with the same sort of modern beauty standards mockery, yes. This is essentially that noughties Christina Ricci film Penelope if it had a facelift and a nose job and a tapeworm inside of it. The whole shebang, really, yeah. The Ugly Stepsister uncovers how Cinderella is actually the villain in her own story, and it manages to show that new perspective by changing one simple thing. Everything about her character and the other characters and most of the story as well. Yeah. This is the kind of film where you'll be like, okay, so it's telling it from the perspective of the Ugly Stepsister. That's fascinating. What was it like for her? Oh, and her mother's really mean to her, making her go through all these cosmetic changes. That's horrible. Oh my god, is that Cinderella's gaping butthole? Yeah. Basically, they move in, Cinderella's dad dies, they leave his body rotting for potentially months in one of the rooms in their house because they don't have the money to bury him. And then Cinderella and her stepsister Elvira both sign up for the ball as virgins. In this one you have to sign up for the ball, but only if you're a virgin. But Cinderella is having an affair with the stable boy, and I know what you're thinking. Don't worry. We do see the stable boy's entire penis, and so much more in that scene. This film is fucked up in the exact way I would expect Norwegian cinema to be. You know, it just sounds like it should be insane. Frankly, I think the only things I've really seen from Norwegian cinema before this are surprisingly good disaster films, like The Weave or Troll. But this is nuts. When I tell you that the beauty standard scenes, like one of them involves this guy rubbing cocaine on her eyeballs and then sewing fake eyelashes onto her, like, oh boy, it's messed up, and yet I don't know how to put this, because I'm not a fan of body horror. Like, really not a fan of body horror. Like, I didn't even really like The Substance that much. But I really liked this. And I feel like just somehow, despite doing full-on, like, whoa, body horror stuff, it's not as inaccessible as a lot of body horror films are. This, I do think, just hits different than Substance for me. I won't say it's necessarily a definitely better film, but yeah, a lot of the stuff about The Substance and its style, I just did think was less accessible, less, you know, you could say mainstream, but I don't think this is very mainstream. I don't know what it is exactly about this that got me so interested. Just setting itself inside a fairy tale and taking a Miley Cyrus-sized wrecking ball to the beauty standards of those kinds of stories felt like it really was the best sort of allegory to make for tearing down just beauty standards in general. And it was very interesting. There also is like a very slow zooming shot of Cinderella's like gaping butthole, which was yeah. You're nasty if you like this, but yes, I did like this, yeah. I was rolling when the maggots that are eating her dad's corpse start fixing Cinderella's dress for her. That is so funny. The twisted sense of humor here is so good. It's brilliant. And it makes me think maybe I should go back and rewatch Substance and like see if I enjoy it more this time, thinking more about the kind of twisted sense of humor you can use in this takedown of beauty standards, because this one really opened my eyes to how hilariously fun it can be while also being like incredibly disturbing. You know what I mean? I do think it's probably my favorite body horror film I've ever seen, but as I say, I'm generally not a fan of these films. I don't like body horror in general, so it's fascinating. I wouldn't necessarily call this a masterpiece, but it's definitely one of the better horror films of the year. It is intriguing. It's such a takedown of like Bridgerton and everything that's ever set itself in that era, every fairy tale you've ever seen. It's just really, surprisingly, I feel like it is very rewatchable, which I couldn't have imagined saying about a body horror film, like, ever. This is the sort of film where you'd start dating a new girl, she'd say, this is my favourite film, and put it on, and then you'd stare at her with, like, horror for the next 2 hours, going, oh, she's clearly insane, I better run. And then the film finished, and you go, actually, that kind of fucked, yeah. It's just so good. It takes elements from things like The Substance, from Pearl, definitely, and from just Cinderella, and it adds them all together to make this just weird cacophony that is just oddly, you really can't take your eyes off it, put it that way, even no matter what it's doing. It is also very confident about throwing in a don't forget every man is evil message too. I mean, the men in this made me want to vomit harder than the tapeworm extraction. It is nasty. And I'm giving it's everything that the Norwegian word for end is slut. 4.5 stars. And if you like things like this, just quirky films and quirky reviews about those quirky films, maybe you should go ahead and subscribe. It's really shockingly easy, costs you nothing.